Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about why Spirit won't give you a yes or no definitive answer for most things. Now, it can happen. It can absolutely happen. It's happened for me. It's happened for people that I've given readings to. But the thing is, guys, we have free will. Spirit does not want to interfere with that free will. So it's very rare, and I would caution you that if you go to a psychic or a medium and they say, yes, this is your definite path, yes, this is exactly what's going to happen, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, this is who you're going to meet, this is when it's going to happen. It's rare that that happens unless it's kind of an emergent situation, okay? So why does this happen? Why won't Spirit just say, yes, this is what you're going to do, or yes, this is what you should do, no, you absolutely should not do that? Well, we have free will. So this is a funny subject because yes, we make contracts, we select experiences that we want to have, people that we want to connect with, things that we want to encounter while we're here. We make those kind of predestined plans before we come. Those are called soul contracts. We also have free will, which allows us to choose our path to get to those destinations. So the way that I understand it, the way that I have come to understand it through my work with Spirit, more so than things that I have read, is that along our life, each life that we incarnate into, we have checkpoints that we will reach. So certain big events in our life that we need to get to. So not so much events, but more lessons, right? Big lessons that we need to learn, triggered by events that we will have. We have these checkpoints along our long path that we're going to have. And to get to those checkpoints, however, there are infinite possibilities, infinite turns, infinite routes to get to those checkpoints. This is where free will comes in. So yes, our soul has a plan. Our soul comes here to learn something, to grow, to have experiences, even if those are karmic relationships or addiction or illness, whatever those things are, those experiences are, good or bad, we came here to have those experiences. So I would also invite you to remember that when you're looking at someone or yourself through judgment, remember that each soul is here on a mission. Each soul is here to do its very best to learn and to grow. And so we can accept everyone, including ourselves, where we are on our path at that time as doing our very best, okay? Digress a little bit. But when we look at free will and destiny, we can see that, okay, so I am meant to have this family, I am meant to have a house, but the path that I take determines how I will get there and the experiences that I will have along the way. Now, if you have a lesson that you're supposed to be learning, but you are choosing not to absorb that lesson, you may find yourself in pattern. So pattern in relationships, it may show up in work relationships, romantic relationships, family relationships. When it comes to, some of us are like, well, this always happens to me, or I have the worst luck, or I have this, and we get into that pattern of negative self-talk. If that's you, and you're like, yeah, there's free will, but this keeps happening to me, and there's destiny, and this keeps happening to me, then I invite you to look at what your patterns may be. What keeps happening in your life, and what lesson is it trying to teach you? Sometimes, if you cannot see the lesson, but you do see the pattern, ask yourself, ask your higher self, what is this trying to teach me? What is this pattern trying to show me? And then you can move forward from there. So when it comes to yes or no questions, the reason that Spirit won't give us those definitive answer most of the time is because we have free will. They do not want to interfere with our free will. Some people will take the answer that they get from Spirit or from a medium and say, okay, I'm following this, 100% I'm following this. And that can be bad because they may stop themselves from progressing. They may not take a chance, take a risk to meet somebody that they were meant to meet at that time. So this is why Spirit really doesn't give yes or no answers. They will say, this is good for you, this is not good for you. But I was having a thought the other day about how if I could have looked back on my 18-year-old self who was crying in the car over school and crying about, really, really wanting to go away to school and not being able to, things like this, I would look at her and I would say, Ashley, everything's going to be okay. It's going to turn out exactly how you want it to be, even better than you ever planned. And that was a really powerful moment for me. But in the same flip of a switch, I also realized that had I told myself that, I may have stopped everything. I may have stopped trying. I may have just sat back and said, as an 18-year-old, all right, well, everything's going to work out. Not much for me to do here. I know everything's working out. Then everything would not have worked out. I hope this makes sense, and I hope you can see how Spirit does not want to interfere with our lives, but they do want to guide us on our path. So the best thing you can do is learn to tune into your intuition, work with your spirit guides, and work with your higher self to get those messages that are going to guide you in the right direction to help you along both your life path to hit those checkpoints and to move you more easily through free will.